Hey guys, so today we'll be going over QuantX, which is our new tool designed specifically for the futures market on lower time frames. The default settings for this tool are designed for NASDAQ on the 5-minute. Now the main purpose of this tool was to really be able to handle super volatile price action. We know that most trend following tools just don't work in the futures market, as price is super volatile and it never really trends in one direction. Now you can see here we've included a dashboard back test to really aid you in using this tool. Now the main purpose is to find buying opportunities when price is at a discount and shorting opportunities when price is at a premium. As we know, in futures, price really doesn't stay too high or too low for too long. So we're looking to find really opportune moments to get quick trades at a really good risk reward. Now, risk reward is really the main goal of this tool. We want trades with only a good risk reward, and the best way to do that is getting in a trade at the most opportune times. Now, with this trading style, when you're getting in at the lows, you're much more likely to have a better risk reward in comparison to your risk. So by getting in low, if price does continue to drop, we can get out of that trade quick. But if price does reverse, you're much more likely to get a double or even triple a reward in comparison to that risk. So you can see here we have two trades. These are two winners in a row. We're getting in at the lows, getting in at the highs for the short, and we were able to capitalize on that risk reward. So you can see on our back test here, the strategy wins 42% of the time. Now, since we're at a 2-to-1 risk reward for this strategy, we really only need to win 33% of the trades to break even. So as you can see here, our differential, that's the main key with QuantX. You want a good win rate differential to let you know that a strategy is consistently profitable. And we've included a strategy grade here for however much your differential is to let you know how that strategy does perform and the grade for that. So at a +9 differential, that's a really profitable strategy. That'll give you a strategy grade A here. So if you go to the settings here, you'll see the way these signals works is we use confluence for our entries. So confluence is you need multiple indicators or technicals to trigger it together to signal an entry point. So for longs here on the default settings, we need 6 of those to trigger together to open a long, or 8 together to open a short. So if an asset usually trends bullish more than it does bearish, you may want fewer long signal confluences than you would short, which we have here. We also have the option to require a breakout or a breakdown for entry. That way the system won't try to get in long if price is continuing to fall. It'll wait for price to fall, wait for maybe a bullish breakout, and then get in the trade, which would help you avoid getting caught during a spike down or anything like that. So you can also see we have wait times for different triggers here. So since we have long signal confluence of 6, we're waiting 5 candles for all of those to trigger together. If six of those technicals trigger within 5 candles, it'll give us an entry. Now, if 6 of those didn't trigger till 6 or 7 candles, we would have not gotten a signal here. So what we could do, let's bump this up to 7. So if we put it to 7, if there's still a signal, that means that 7 confluence technicals triggered together within 5 candles to still give us that entry. Okay, so we bumped it up to 7, and you can see the signal here. The signal was here with 6 confluence signals, but we bumped it up to 7, and that signal was now moved a little bit down lower, which means that here there were 6 signals triggering at the same time, and we didn't get the 7th until this candle. So by bumping up this number, it'll really help you filter out either early signals or false signals. The higher your confluence options, the fewer trades you're going to get, but maybe the stronger entry points you're going to get for your trades. And we've applied that same methodology also for the breakdown and the breakout sensitivity as well. And we've also included a wait time for let's say you have a trade here and it closes out in profit, but market is super elevated. So you want maybe a cool down period before the system will enter another trade. So you can do that here by entering a value here. So we have default at 10. That means after a trade, the system will wait 10 candles before another trade can be opened. And that may help us, filter out some false entries or getting in at unopportune times. Now for our take profit and stop loss system here, the default is set to a percentage. You can choose from a fixed percentage and ATR. Now fixed would just be straight dollar amount. So if this is set to 35, let's say on NQ, if you have an entry at say 21,000, that means your stop loss would be $35 less than that. And the percentage you can set to whatever you want, and it'll be a fixed percentage. And then for ATR, that is dynamic, and the values will vary based on the volatility of that asset. If you do want to use ATR, one of the common issues with ATR stop losses is that, say you have an entry at a really volatile time in the market and your stop loss is huge. We've included a percentage to cap that so that you can't have too large of a stop loss. So say you only want to risk 2% at max in a trade, but you do want to use the ATR value. You can put 2% here, and the biggest the ATR stop loss will ever be is 2%. Now for our take profit, we use risk reward ratio only. So we have a default at 2. So the risk reward, your take profit will always be double of what your stop loss is. So you can bump that up to 3 to 4. We recommend a minimum have it at 2 to 1. You'll find the most profitable strategies at a 2 to 1 risk reward. That's the main thing with this. It's not win rate. We're looking to really get a greater reward in comparison to our risk. Now, since a lot of our users like to use this with prop firm trading, we've included time filters for the system as well. Since most prop firms you can't trade past either 4 or 5 p.m., you can close all of your trades at the end of the session, or you can use a time filter for the system to only trade during certain times in the trading session. But that's really the main rundown of the settings panel. The main things you really only want to change or play around with are your confluence options here. That will really be the blunt of the strategy. Again, the higher your signal confluence options are, that means the more technicals that you need to trigger to give you an entry. So the higher, really, the more substantial or the stronger the signals you're going to get. You're going to get fewer signals, but really those signals will hold more weight. Now, the lower the number there, really the weaker but the more often you're going to get signals. So we recommend really from anywhere from 5 to 8 confluence options is really where you want to be looking at. Now heading back down to look at our dashboard here, this really gives you some valuable info. But really the main thing with this type of trading strategy, really risk reward is everything. Win rate really does not mean anything. And most traders, look for win rates of 60, 70, 80%. But really, unless you know how much you're risking per trade, your win rate really doesn't mean anything. So we've included here the win rate that you need for whatever your settings are. So since our settings are a 2 to 1 ratio, we need a 33% win rate to break even. So at a 43% win rate, that's a very profitable strategy. We're getting a plus 10% differential. So really you want this number to always, I would look for around at least a plus 5% differential to let you know that the strategy is profitable. If we look back at some trades here, we had a win here, a win here. So that's 4 winning trades. See where a loss is. We had another win here. So really you can see the system's looking for some extreme price action, and then we're looking to get it on a bounce. We're not looking to catch a trend while price is elevating. we want discounts in price to be able to get in for an entry. So you can see we had a losing trade here, but then we had a winner right after. So we lost one on that losing trade, but then our winning trade is double of what our loser was, and that's really the beauty of risk reward. Is you can afford. You're going to have losing trades, but when you have a good risk reward, that really doesn't matter. It's going to eventually be more profitable in the long run, and be more consistent long term. Now, this system is designed specifically for futures, NASDAQ, and ES, and it can be customized really to trade any way you want, but we recommend to start with the default settings as those are consistently profitable over time on the 5-minute. With this type of strategy, you have to stick with it. A risk reward strategy of 2-to-1 or higher, you're going to have losing trades, but your winners over time are going to really be what makes you profitable in the long run. Now, QuantX is pretty simple to customize since there are so few inputs to really mess around with. The main things you're going to want to play with again are the signal confluences, and then your take profit stop loss system, depending on what you want to risk per trade. How many contracts you trade, do you trade minis, all those things you need to take into account. And the back test will let you know real time how the system has performed and what to look for going forward. But again, the main thing with QuantX is risk reward, and we want that volatile price action. We want those pumps to look to get in short, and those really the dips to discount areas to get in long. That's the main thing for this system. Is we want buying opportunities from volatile low time frame price action. We have a lot of traders using this system, especially on prop firms. You can go to our Discord and go to the QuantX chat, where there are quite a few users sharing their experience with this tool and sharing the customized settings they use for their trading.